It just goes live. It's not even a point in even playing it now. Or are we going to do the mic? We're going to do the intro like while it's live. And
yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Go
ahead, Alex.
Professional. It's professional.
Welcome, sports fans, to the latest SNF production of the Sunday Night Sports Nerd.
Turn it up, Elliot.
It is the most absurd 90 minutes of anything goes, smack talk, and a whole lot more. Every Sunday night, the sports nerd joins forces with three charismatic co-hosts who are a select group of sports nerds with attitude, better known in Nerd Nation as the Rampant. We are four of the most loudmouth, smack-talking nerds around, coming at you with some sick rips and rants, which may be just enough to make you pee your pants. So listen up, Nerd Nation. Let's rise and welcome the legend himself. He is the founder, he is the host, and he is the star of the Sports Nerd Show. Coming to you live, straight out of Lakeland, Florida, Scott, the Sports Nerd. Right.
What's going on, everybody? We welcome to the Sunday Night Sports Nerd Show. We are here every Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. live on Facebook, live on Twitch, live on Twitter, and
Howdy.
live on the blockchain at vim.tv. So welcome to the show, John, Elliot. How you doing? Good to see you guys.
Oh, hey, man.
We're doing great now that you don't sound like Wolfman Jack.
All right, we don't want to go with this. Let's not do that. Come on now.
One thing can be said about this show over the years, man. We are nothing but technical geniuses.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are gurus of the tech world.
Yes, we are.
Man. Elon Musk is on. We're on his speed dial. Okay? Yeah. He wants a rocket in space. He knows who to call.
That's right. Oh God, too funny. Well, after my tweet on Friday night saying "Let's go Cavs," they blew it at the end of the game. And Ken was prompt in saying, "Well, that tweet didn't last well. It didn't last well, or
that didn't age well.
It didn't age well. Excuse me. Yes. I just fell apart at the end, man. I was hoping.
Well, they wanted to join LeBron in the offseason, you know what I mean?
Whatever. They were the Cavs, John. They're a really good young team, and they got a lot. They're gonna be good for a while.
They felt bad that they were in the playoffs and LeBron isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't care. It's not Toronto.
I don't care. I don't even care. I don't even care about the Raptors, to be honest. I'm so in football mode. It's ridiculous.
Drafts in 2 weeks, guys.
Drafts in 2 weeks. I mean, that's all and I know this is the fun thing. I'm not like some of these guys that fake it like they watch NCAA all the time.
Actually, 11 days.
Yeah, 11 days. Yeah, I don't know crap. Someone tells me this is a good draft prospect. I'm like, cool, sounds good. Let's get him. I don't know. You couldn't tell me. You couldn't even tell me who's the number one consensus overall.
Well, obviously, because that year, last year, you had a conniption that they took Scotty Barnes, and he turned
the
out
Raptors.
To be
Yeah, dude. I didn't know. I don't know anything about Scotty Barnes, but apparently he's up for Rookie of the Year. It's like, great, cool, great. Let's go. It's cool. Anyways,
well, they got toasted by Philly in the first game.
Yeah. It's what did Shaq say? We're gonna get swept. So yeah, whatever. And Scotty's doubtful for the next game too. So.
Hey, I got a question. Whatever happened to Kawhi Leonard?
He's hurt all the time, dude. All the time.
Is he still with the Clippers? Is he still with the Clippers?
Still with the Clippers. He's still with the Clippers. Hurt all the time.
Really?
Yeah. His big bet of leaving Toronto, where he probably could have won back-to-back championships. Let's be honest, because that Lakers win was a little suspect. So he could have run it back with Toronto, got that second chip, probably even could have done some damage last year. But no, he wanted to go to LA. And what have the Clippers done? Nothing.
Well, people are constantly downing on that bubble championship that the Lakers.
Oh, it's got an asterisk for sure, man. It's got an asterisk for sure. So, yeah, it's and I get it. He wants to be close to home, but it's like it's not like you're a freaking multimillionaire where you can buy a plane and go to and from Toronto to LA in a couple of hours.
Right.
That argument, you heard this a lot too, especially being a Buffalo Bills fan. No one wanted to play in Buffalo because it's Buffalo. But it's not like these guys, all of them live in Buffalo.
Right.
Like they have an apartment there maybe during the season, and then on the off season, they're usually in Florida or California.
Right.
Airbnb.
Yeah, people losing their mind because Josh Allen was in California on TMZ a couple of nights ago. I'm like, bro, he's from California. What do you want? Like, that's like someone getting mad at me for showing up in Toronto and saying I'm in Toronto. It's like, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah,
It's
people
bad
don't
for you.
understand the 21st century.
No, it's all like, yeah, he's got to be here or else. He's got to live here. He's got to know the corner guy.
You're a traitor if you're hanging out in LA when you should be in Buffalo.
Yeah, damn you in that LA lifestyle. You multi-millionaire top quarterback in the league, you.
I don't remember LeBron hanging out in Cleveland all the time. So.
But he's from Akron, so he's actually from the Cleveland area.
Yeah, Cleveland's an upgrade, right?
But
Yes.
when he became a pro, he didn't spend a whole lot of time in Ohio.
Sure he did.
Where?
He lived in Akron, dude, which is like
I understand that.
Yeah, but when he became a pro.
But when he became a pro, he'd be elsewhere, dude. His celebrity took him to other places.
Well, he's probably doing promotions and shit for that. I mean, I don't
exactly.
I
People don't
care.
understand that.
I don't give a shit. I mean, you know what? If you know, I mean, he's a hometown grown boy. He dedicated a championship to the Cavaliers when they won it. So you know, it is what it is.
Your microphone, I'm going to give you a massive hint.
Okay.
When it's like a foot from your mouth, it sounds far away. But when you're in front, like when you turned your head like that, it's perfect.
Like this?
It sound well, not just a little bit closer to your mouth.
Yeah,
right like that.
Well, just talk like normal.
Talk like normal, like this.
Yeah. Now put it closer and see what it sounds like.
It's like right in my face now.
See, now it sounds great.
But we can still see your face.
Okay, well,
and it sounds professional. You
sound
like
I don't know if that's good or bad, but okay.
Well, you're a true professional now. I got the paper to show it. I don't know, dude. Don't listen to me, man. I can't even.
John, you and I both know I suck at being a professional at this point. So I mean, I'm at this point. I'm almost a lost cause, but that's okay. I'm still working on it.
Join the club, man.
Right.
I try to put mine closer, but I don't want to diss Kobe. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God. See, I didn't want to diss my little bear in the back either. See, my little Browns bear, but that's okay.
Hey, what'd you name him? Baker?
No, I've had him. I've had that bear for like
Baker Bear.
I've had him for over 20 years, so no, it's not Baker. Oh God. Speaking of which, rumor is that Baker's going to Carolina. That's the rumor. The latest rumor that Baker's going to.
Baker's been going to a lot of places, but he hasn't left yet.
No, he hasn't left. He's still there.
He was going to Seattle. He was going to go to Indianapolis. He was going to go here.
Now Arizona, because there's something going on with
Kyler Murray says he's not going to play without a contract or whatever.
Right. Yeah. So Kyler Murray is all up in arms, and now let's send Baker to Arizona. They'll need a quarterback because Kyler Murray's not going to play. You know, I mean, the revolving door that is the rumor.
I honestly think Kyler Murray's just overrated, to be honest.
I do too. I really do.
I think he's a legend in his own mind.
This is the thing, right? And I saw my buddy actually, one of my Facebook friends mentioned this on, I think it was ESPN or something, when he made that and like basically the announcement that he's not going to play unless he gets a contract. It's like, dude, you haven't done anything yet. Right. Like, wait until you do something. And I get it; it's all hype, and you're supposed to be awesome and wonderful. But why don't you earn it first? Earn that contract. Win a game.
Right.
Like, he's never won a playoff game, right?
No. Win
one first, and then start demanding things. And I get it. The NFL is it's a now league, not for long, right? Get your paper, but quarterbacks generally get that second contract if they're first.
Well, it doesn't matter how many numbers he puts up. Dak can't win in the playoffs, so that kind of puts an asterisk next to his name as far as being one of the elite quarterbacks in the league.
He's getting paid like an elite quarterback, but he's not getting results like an elite quarterback.
People love them some Dak, man.
Oh yeah, they do. But what is he doing?
Yeah,
I don't get it. Are
you guys excited for the draft? Like, have you guys been doing your draft prep?
I'm not because I'm not. I don't do mock drafts. I don't.
Oh no, I'm not doing any mock drafts at all. I just listen to all the podcasts from the Bills and just.
Well, mock drafts are for fantasy, dude.
Yeah. The Browns traded away their first round draft, so I'm not as excited as I was.
He's got no
skin in the game
in the first round race.
What's San Fran at? Where are they?
They don't have anything either.
Wow, really? So it's just me and Ken.
Yeah.
Wow. Really?
Yep.
Wow. So Cleveland traded all those first round picks for Deshaun.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And what about San Fran? How come you don't have it for what was that? What was the story with that?
I'm sure we traded them away for somebody.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
I just can't remember who.
So are we doing?
Oh wait, you know what? Did we trade up for Trey Lance at one point?
I think you did.
I think it might have been.
Yeah.
Part of that.
So are we gonna do a draft show Thursday night?
Oh yeah. Shit. Oh yes,
okay.
please.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Absolutely,
dude.
Man.
It is freaking Christmas for me. Like draft, the Wednesday night I watch draft day. Thursdays night's the draft. Friday is second and third round.
Yep.
It's my Christmas. Like
you definitely know that I'm gonna at least whisper in his ear, Derek, what you doing Thursday night?
There you go. And speaking of that, the Sunday after the draft, which is May 1st, Mr. Ron Gallo will be joining us to talk NHL hockey.
The day before the NHL playoffs begin.
Yeah,
hockey.
Yep.
Hockey.
Thank you, Elliot, for reaching out to Ron and bringing him in. I appreciate it.
The annual Ron appearance on our show during the playoffs.
Right.
Nice. The annual Ron appearance.
Yep. He joins us.
ARA. Annual Ron appearance.
he was trying to think of that. He was trying to think of that.
I'm trying to think of the acronym in my head as I'm going, and I'm getting Blaine texting me here, telling me, "Do something for work, you lazy bugger." So yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, dude, I had a rough week, man. Like the past 4 or 5 days, the dog ran away. We spent all day trying to find. I'm spitting wow. I'm can't even talk. I'm drooling out of my mouth. But yeah, it was just rough, man. Family stuff, and just I was so out of the loop. And finally today, I got time to work, and I'm sitting here banging stuff out, and Blaine is just hitting me with left, right, and center. I'm like, damn, dude, you planning the launch of $1 million business or what?
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you, champ. So yeah, man, excited. Good. Excited for draft though. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So
yeah, there's gonna be a lot of linemen, interior players. You know what I'm saying?
I think
this is not a great quarterback draft. Next year,
but it's gonna be a good wide receiver draft.
Wide receiver and those defensive ends at the start, right?
Right.
So and then corners.
Hutchinson from I think his name is Hutchinson from Michigan is slated to be number 1 overall with Jacksonville. So we'll see.
You put him in a lineup, I couldn't tell you what he looked like. No idea. Yeah.
It's a Michigan player. I don't care.
Yeah. It's all I know is that Sauce Gardner is apparently the top corner from Cincinnati, right? And he's probably going to go to the Jets, which is going to be hilarious because that'll be another Revis Island. I can't wait. So apparently that's what's happening with Sauce. And then for the wideouts, it's all this Williams kid, right?
He actually.
Olave.
The thing about Williams, though, John, is he tore his ACL during the playoffs. I think it was actually the championship game against.
So he probably won't even play next year.
Georgia. So he's in rehab. He's rehabbing a knee right now, but he's still slated to be the first receiver taken off the board.
He's that good. I've never.
Yeah, he's that good. I mean, and there's a couple of receivers from the Buckeyes that are high prospects as well. Of course, Ohio State's always had great receivers, just not quarterbacks in the draft.
Olave, right?
Olave is the guy. Although he's actually not the one that's slated to go first. It's the other guy, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Let's see, what is it? Who is it? Where is he?
You could throw names out, and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, that guy!"
You guys know
Garrett Wilson is his name. Hang on, his name's Garrett Wilson. He's a junior, but he's coming out.
Cool.
Go Garrett. And he's slated to go number 8 overall to the Falcons, and he's actually the number one mocked wide receiver to go, first wide receiver off the board. So,
You guys know Adam Rank, right?
Who's Adam Rank?
You don't know Adam Rank?
No. Of course it is. You don't know who Adam Rank is, really? The Rank Report, really? Adam Rank.
Never heard.
Fantasy
You don't
football.
know Adam Rank? He does
fantasy football.
He does NFL Fantasy Live.
That's why I've never heard of it, because it's fantasy football, and I'm not as hardcore as you guys are at fantasy football,
bro.
Well, he does regular football too.
Okay,
but he does it on the NFL Network. So you probably don't spend too much time with the NFL Network.
No, I do. But I don't. I mean, I probably know him if I saw his face.
Oh yeah.
Well, Rank seems to believe, like everybody else, that this guy Aiden Hutchinson from Michigan, is going to go number one.
Right. That's the guy I was talking about. Yeah.
And he's got the Detroit Lions taking edge rusher Kayvon Thibodeau.
Okay.
The first quarterback off the board that he has, according to Rank, and I've seen this on a couple of other mock drafts as well, is Malik Willis going to the Panthers at number 6.
Wow, really?
Yeah, that's the guy from Liberty, right?
That's the guy from Liberty, correct?
That's really early for a guy that doesn't really have. He doesn't have a lot of hype. He's just got a big arm, right? Doesn't he?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't see.
He had a great pro day according to Rank.
Couldn't even tell you.
But here's the thing: when you got Sam Darnold as your starting quarterback,
poor Sam, man,
you might want to roll a dice or two. You know.
Sam started seeing ghosts, and then that was it, man. It's all she wrote.
That was pretty sad. After he made that announcement, that was pretty sad.
Yeah, man.
Pretty sad. But anyway, like I said, it seems like there's a lot of tackles and secondary players.
Yeah.
Some guy named Sauce Gardner.
Ahmad Gardner. The only reason I know him is because we need like a corner really bad.
But the Texans, it looks like he's saying the Texans will take him at 3.
At 3, really? Good.
Yeah.
I hope the Texans do take him and keep him out of New York, because apparently he's like the next Darrelle Revis. Apparently.
It looks like in New York, well, according to Rank, Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame, safety. If they don't get Gardner, of course.
Right.
If Gardner drops, maybe the Jets will take him. Ike Ekwonu to the Giants.
Offensive tackle to the Giants.
Yeah. And then the Giants pick again at 7, defensive end Trayvon Walker out of Georgia.
They can load up, man. They can load up. That new regime in there, getting all those early draft picks.
I saw a funny meme the other day on the Atlanta Falcons about their high-powered offense. It was a total sarcastic meme, okay?
The high-powered offense with Marcus Mariota as their
Marcus Mariota, and then they have like zero experienced wide receivers and
Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts.
So it looks like the first wide receiver projected to go off by Rank is to the Texans. Wide receiver Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State.
Right, that's the counterpart to Olave.
Right, and then at 15, Philadelphia should take Drake London, wide receiver out of USC. And then Olave would follow at 16 to the New Orleans Saints.
Wow, so Williams isn't even – I thought he was going to be the first off the board.
Well, you see, Williams had that ACL.
Yeah, he's ACL, right, yeah.
Yeah, but they got him going to the Chargers at 17.
That would be freaking disgusting, because
Williams, two Williams, and a what's you call it,
and an Allen.
Williams, and
as if San Diego isn't high powered enough already.
Los Angeles,
San Diego.
No, it's San Diego. I'm just
San Diego.
I'm just gonna keep it in my head. It's San Diego. Yes, yeah.
San Diego.
But you take those 3 and you add them to what the Chargers already
Herbert's
have.
gonna just be having a field day. Like I hope the AFC West loads up and just beats the piss out of each other for the entire foreseeable future, so the Bills can just cakewalk into that AFC Championship every year. Go ahead.
And you know what? It's not a big gamble for the Chargers to take Williams at 17 because they already loaded. So they can ease him back easily from his injury.
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe he'd be ready for the second half of the season or something.
Well, think about when teams draft wideouts. I mean, Jamar Chase is a freak, right? But generally, even Jefferson was kind of a freak too. But generally, wideouts, tight ends, they don't really catch fire until second, third years, right? So, I mean, you put him behind that wide receiving core learning everything. Maybe he gets in. Like, that's insane. That's crazy. Then he starts exploding second, third year. I hope they all beat each other up over there. Yeah.
Chris Olave to the Saints. If Michael Thomas can return to his form with Olave, Jameis Winston, who didn't have a bad season last year until he tore his ACL.
Right.
You know, he was doing well. I don't know what has anybody heard what the Alvin Kamara situation is with all the legal
since
ramifications?
it happened.
Not since the Pro Bowl. No, haven't heard a word.
Nobody said anything since then about it. At 21, you got New England taking wide receiver Treylon Burks out of Arkansas.
That guy's from what I understand, that guy's a freaking beast.
The next wide receiver would be Jahan Dotson out of Penn State to the Green Bay Packers.
Which would be an anomaly for Green Bay. They never draft wide receivers.
No, but they just picked up Sammy Watkins.
Yeah.
Poor Sammy.
They got rid of Devontae Adams and Marquez Valdez-Scantling
for Sammy Watkins.
It's like, here, Aaron, see what you can do with this.
Exactly. Here's all this money, and now let's see what you can do with this. Looks like at 25, Buffalo's supposed, if it shakes out that way, a kid named Andrew Booth out of Clemson, cornerback.
Corner. Yeah.
Linebacker Nakobe Dean to the Titans at 26. Not a lot of offensive players. Kansas City, well, obviously, they're wide receivers.
They need wide receivers.
I mean, come on. Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju ain't it, man.
And MVS.
Yeah, and the thing is that Kelsey is going to get triple teamed because no one's scared
of
Juju. So
Kelsey's numbers are coming down. I'm going to tell you right now, Kelsey's no longer a number one fantasy pick.
No. It's Dawson Knox. You're welcome. I'm telling it right now. I'm calling it right now.
It's Dawson Knox or George Kittle.
Yeah.
Well, Kittle depends on Trey Lance.
Yeah. Well, okay. Waller too. But that's tough because Oakland's got to spread it out. Like Renfro.
Well, and
Devontae,
when you got Adams and Renfro, that's gonna free Waller up for some, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because they got to watch these guys on the outside.
Yeah.
Waller likes playing the middle of the field.
Right.
So that could turn out to be pretty interesting.
I think the Raiders are the sneaky pick to win that division.
If they, you know what, with the defense that they put together,
yeah, man,
I can buy that.
Like the Chargers and them kind of went toe to toe. I don't think Kansas City's even in the discussion anymore. I really don't.
I don't even think Denver, even with Russell Wilson, I don't think Denver's in the discussion.
Denver's got a lot of young kids that will work with Russell and probably get better with Russell, but nah, man.
Well, the good thing is that Melvin Gordon's not going to be taking any touches away from Javonte Williams.
Oh, what a.
You know, where did Gordon end up going?
He's a free agent, I think, isn't he?
Still a free agent?
I don't think he's signed.
No, he hasn't signed.
Oh. He is just the thorn in the side of fantasy football players for the past 5 years. I
think Russell Wilson is going to make Cortland Sutton better.
Yeah.
And Judy, too.
And Judy as well.
Yeah.
Okay, because Russell Wilson throws a pretty sweet deep ball.
Oh, hell yeah, he does.
Okay, and these guys are speedsters on the outside, Judy and Sutton.
You know what? He's actually going to have an offensive line in Denver too for a change.
Yeah, he is.
He's not used to having an
not
offensive
running
line
for his life.
Yes.
Well, speaking of having an offensive line, how about Joe Burrow?
Yeah. A lot of signings in the offseason.
What they needed, they went after. So you got Kansas City actually taking 2 wide receivers at 29 and 30.
Back to back.
Probably.
Sky Moore out of Western Michigan and Christian Watson out of North Dakota State.
All right, so North Dakota State's a Division II school.
Yeah.
And Western Michigan isn't exactly a Power 5 school.
It's not one of those elite colleges.
No.
Where did Antonio Brown go? Eastern or Western Michigan?
I don't know.
Wasn't it Antonio Brown? Let me see.
He went into oblivion after running off the field.
Oh, Antonio. Let's see.
And the one running back coming out in the first round, according to
Central Michigan. Sorry,
the
Cincinnati
Bengals taking Breece Hall out of Iowa State.
That's a running back, right?
Finally, the Detroit Lions taking the second quarterback in the draft. One Kenny Pickett out of Pittsburgh.
Kenny Pickett out of Pittsburgh.
And that would be Adam Rank's take on most of the first round.
I bet you this thing gets so shook up and just like there's going to be trades.
There's going to be trades galore on that night, on the first round night.
Watch, you know what? Watch for Green Bay trying to trade up to get one of the better wide receivers.
Watch for Buffalo to trade up too.
They might do something.
Well, if you think about it, like the economics of it, right? We have 8 picks this year. We don't have 8 spots on the roster for 8 guys. Right. So what are you going to do with them? It's draft capital. Move up. And we're going to be a top tier team for the next couple of years, God willing. But so where's our draft picks going to be? 25 to 30, right? So it's like trade up, man. If Brandon Beane sees a guy he likes, he's gonna pull the trigger. I almost guarantee it. Because we need this. We don't have.
It's funny that you mentioned that. Actually, Brandon Beane was voted the best GM in the NFL.
Big baller Beane, baby.
Yeah.
Come on. Big baller Beane. Yeah, man. Yeah, he's awesome. He's amazing.
How about Devontae Parker going to the New England Patriots?
No one cares.
Right.
Well, I mean, come on.
That was we talked about
news alone that the Patriots are making a move to get a wide receiver.
We talked about that a couple weeks ago, and it was like John's like, yeah, big deal.
Look, listen, Devontae Parker, when he plays against us, usually took the top off. He'd get 100 yards almost every time. But Miami didn't do jack squat after that. Like, it was like Devontae Parker was our Achilles heel. He's going from Tua to Mac Jones, and I get it. Mac Jones should be considered an upgrade. I ain't sold on.
You're not sold on Mac Jones yet?
I'm not sold on Noodle Arm. No, not at all. No. Macaroni Jones. No.
Brady clone?
Yeah, no. Not sold on him. I'm not even going to listen. Where is Clark here?
How about George Kittle?
No one's here.
His 5-year extension for $75 million.
He's worth it.
Who?
George Kittle.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one's here, right? Everyone's doing the pagan ritual tonight. So
yeah,
Nuke got an extension, 2 years, $54.5 million. DeAndre Hopkins, rather. Yeah. Did you see that trade the other day? The one with New Orleans and Philadelphia swapping all these.
Was it all draft picks?
Yeah, it was all draft picks.
Oh yeah, the Philly thing, and then yeah.
That's how New Orleans got themselves up into the position where they might draft Olave or whatever wide receiver might be available at that point. Oh. Cowboys are about to sign Everson Griffin. Who cares? That's another one. You know who puts up a lot of who cares stuff? Brett.
Yeah, man. Like so and so stubbed his toe. Like he's it's great. It's wonderful. Do you like that, Scott? Do you like me just talking to myself in the chat?
I see that. Yes. Yeah.
You know, it's make it look like we got 20 million fans.
We're just a couple buds just chit chatting. Ken's having issues.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. People can watch the replay. They can see us, our lovely faces. It's okay. Yeah, man, I'm pumped up. I can't
wait.
wait.
The replay gets a lot more views than the live show, so I'm happy with that, John.
Yeah, of course. That's just usually the way it is, man. I mean, even like if you think about it, like my favorite content creators, I never watch their live shows ever. Never do I attend their live shows.
Right.
It's recordings, video playbacks.
Yeah, I think replays are probably more popular because
people can listen to them or watch them on their own time, on their
own time when they have the time.
Right.
For them to sit through a live show, it might compromise, especially on a Sunday evening.
Right.
People who are more family oriented. It is Easter, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
John said the pagan holiday. Yes.
Sunday's a tough day. Sunday's a tough day.
Yeah. It is, but I think we pick Sunday for the reason because it's a football day, right?
Oh yeah. You can talk you can talk the football news of the day on that. Right.
Yeah. Hold on.
No. Oh, hey!
Mr. Ken Costco in the house.
Hey, remember me?
Hey, there he is. We got video and we have audio. How about that? Good to see you, Ken.
What, they flipped the internet switch in Texas?
I don't know what they did. I guess the pack mule finally woke up.
Hey, how'd the rugby thing work out?
I was going to ask you about that.
That was fun. That was fun. I tell you what, guys, rugby is the real deal. It is football without pads. They are serious. These guys are as big as regular football players too. They are just as mean and just as tough, and it is something else. It's the first live rugby match I've ever worked, and it was something else.
Wow. We don't need no stinking pads.
No, they don't have it. They got a little bit of a pad they wear on their heads, and that's about it.
Hopefully they wear a cup at least.
The sound too, like you hear a crunch and a hit.
Oh,
in the NFL, you hear like the pads hitting, but like when it's rugby, it's like
that's
it's
bone on bone,
solid, like just
that is muscle on muscle and bone on bone.
Yeah,
and
man.
Yes, and the players were falling like flies last night too.
It's not a thud; it's a crunch.
Yes,
dude. Sometimes it is.
Now this is a national professional league, isn't that right, Ken?
Yes. I think I said it's been around since about 2018. So this is like 4 or 5 years, and I know Toronto's got a team. I think Vancouver may have one. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's something else. Final score was 57-3. It was pretty brutal game for the home team, but it was fun.
At least they score.
They did score.
They score. Yeah.
It's not soccer where you got to wait 2 weeks for something.
No.
Well, for the 21 million people that'll be listening to this replay, and you're all from the States probably. Rugby is actually a very big deal outside of America. So,
Yes.
Well, it is a big deal in the Northeast for the Ivy League schools. It's also a big deal with the Ivy League schools in college.
I'm not sure if it's an NCAA sport yet, but
no, it's not an NCAA sport.
Is it an Olympic sport yet? Is it going to be an Olympic sport?
No, it's really big. It's really big in Australia because it's actually Australian rules football.
England and Ireland and Scotland too, and then the guys down in New Zealand,
New Zealand, South Africa.
Right? Notice a lot of those end with land at the end.
Yes.
Maybe they should start rugby in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Cleveland. Yeah.
Is it big in Canada yet?
Not really. I mean, it's big. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like it's. No one's like everyone's like, let's go to the MLS game. Like you go to the soccer games here, packed, like absolutely packed. But rugby's not there yet, so
I think it's got to catch up to curling.
They got to catch up with curling, right? Yeah, like dude, you want to get into fisticuffs with a Canadian, start talking smack about curling, man. They'll defend that crap. They will defend that crap, man. Dude, I watched this YouTube video the other day, the science of curling, bro. This stuff it's pretty crazy, like the physics of it, how it all works, and it actually goes absolutely counterintuitive to what you think happens when a stone is thrown down ice. It's crazy. It's the physics of it. If you get a chance, Google it. It's about 10, 15 minutes long. It's fascinating stuff. That's all my curling talk for the entire year. Cheers.
Wow. That was pretty abrupt.
Well, hey, when I was coaching my kids' hockey team, 10 years ago, it was a co-ed league, and I was the coach of the daughter of Kevin Martin. And if anyone knows Canadian curling history, he's a gold Olympic medalist and probably one of the best curlers in the history of the sport. He used to come in and we'd, shoot the poop, and I was coaching his daughter. So I'm special. Feel special for me, please. Yes.
So, Ken, explain what your function was at the rugby match.
My function last night?
Yeah,
I was the red cap. What the red cap does is he stays in contact with the fourth official and the referee, and he lets them know when we're going to commercial and when we're coming back out of commercial, so they can start up the action again. And then I also had to relay the subs into the game back to the truck, because they need to know in the graphics who's coming into the game, who's leaving, and so yeah, that was
televised that match.
It was on FS2, Fox Sports 2 last night. So
wow,
yeah.
That sounds like a pretty
TV.
That red cap sounds like a pretty important job.
Yeah, well, I had a headset on and everything, so yeah.
Well, I saw the picture. Yeah, I saw the headset. I'm like, whoa, you big time! You got a headset on the sideline. There you go.
Yep. Well, I'm in contact with the truck. That's about as big time as it gets. But yeah, I had to let the officials know when we were coming back out of commercial and when things start the action again, and then relaying the substitutes. And there were quite a few substitutes last night. So, but yeah, it was fun. It's the first time I'd done it for anything outside of football. I'd done it for football before, but never for rugby. But that was fun.
What stadium was it being held at?
Choctaw Stadium. It was the old ballpark at Arlington.
Oh, okay.
They've converted it to a football field and now rugby field, rugby pitch, and they'll play soccer at it too later on this year.
Sounds to me like you found a new sport to be passionate about.
I like rugby. I've always liked rugby, and I've followed rugby for as long as I can remember. I never understood it as much as I do now.
Without pads, basically, is what it is.
Exactly. But, and for some reason, I mean, I don't know why they decided to do this, but they played it on field turf. This was not grass; it was on field turf. So. Yeah, I don't know if that had something to do with all the injuries last night or not, but it's a distinct possibility, I would say, because I walked on it before and after the game, and there's not a whole lot of cushion there.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it's soft, but not as soft as you would think, and certainly not when you're going down 40 miles an hour hitting the turf. It's not soft, so especially with 3 200-pound guys on top of you. There's some pretty fast players too. They can get down the field in a hurry.
Well, I'm pretty athletic. I mean, it's kind of a mixture of soccer and football, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Plus a little
bit of cheerleading. You got real strong guys like 250 plus that lift up part of their teammates to get get high enough to get the ball in possession once you have a line out, which is basically putting the ball back into play.
A scrum.
I saw quite a few scrums last night. It took a while to get the first one
terminology.
But those scrums are pretty brutal. You don't want to know what goes on inside there.
A lot of punching of gonads.
A lot of
elbowing, and exactly. Yeah. A lot of nefarious stuff going on.
Oh yeah.
Nefarious.
You bet.
So Ken, are you aware that Ron Gallo will be joining us the day before the playoffs start for the NHL?
I was not. I'm glad.
Well, are you going to be here for our draft special, Ken?
It's a Thursday night, Ken.
I'm sorry?
It's a Thursday night.
Thursday night?
We're
going to do the draft live? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, man, we're going to get out here and talk about
because you and I are the only teams with first-round picks. These two guys don't have anything, so they just got to sit back and enjoy.
Yeah. Okay.
Scott, look at it this way. At least the Browns can't screw up the first round. Right? You got to take the good.
We're taking care of that.
Let me. You guys saw my post this week about Indians and the baseball.
You mean the Guardians?
Yeah, sorry, the Guardians, as well as regional sports networks. But tucked into that post was in the first paragraph. I am going to still root for the Browns, guys. That is official. Number one.
Good.
Okay. I'm going to stick with my team that I've stuck with.
Glutton for punishment.
Stuck with for over 50 years, with the exception of the 3 years they were out of the league. Elliot, just for you. Okay. If they win it all, it's going to taste like shit, but I'm going to eat it. I'm just saying. Okay. I've been a diehard Browns fan all my life.
You're not going to celebrate any less because Deshaun Watson leads you guys to the
It's going to taste like shit, but I won't know how I'll celebrate until if and when it happens. So
you're going to need an extra dose of mustard on that shit burger, aren't you?
Yes, I am, Ken. You are correct. So yes, that's why I'm wearing the jersey and the hat, because I've officially decided, despite the fact that they brought in a quarterback that nobody in the league likes, or I don't like, and I can't stand the son of a bitch.
They brought in a quarterback that nobody likes, and they're getting rid of one that nobody likes too. So.
That's true too. Yes, Baker is just. I mean, he was on a podcast earlier this week or last week and just embarrassed himself. He just really did. He really embarrassed himself.
How would you like it? I want someone to go to a cubicle so I can boo them all day.
Yeah. I mean,
well, I'm not sure that everybody hates Deshaun Watson. I'm sure his mother still likes him.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, his mom.
I mean, but now I hear a lot of people talk about Deshaun Watson and say what kind of a guy he is. They find it hard to believe everything that's out there. I understand that there's, the accusations and this, that, and the other, but
if you take all that away, is he a top 5 quarterback?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Possibly.
I mean, he took a mediocre Houston Texans team
that was basically relying on JJ Watt most of the time, let's be honest.
Right.
On the defensive side of the ball, not the offense, yeah.
And he made them at least respectable.
Mm-hmm.
As far as competitiveness was concerned. And for all those people that thought Brandon Cooks was leaving, no, he re-signed with the Texans.
So Waller's still there too, right?
Huh?
Who? Not Waller. What am I thinking? I'm thinking the other guy. Oh, Cooks and who else is there? Oh God, I can't think of the guys.
They have no one else.
Really?
They have no one else.
They have no one else, bro.
You mean Will Fuller?
Yeah, Will Fuller. That's
he's with
down in Miami.
Yeah, Will Fuller went to Miami.
He's on there. He's on their injured list.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't. I don't even think he played 4 games last year. I don't know. Can't remember.
I don't think so.
And
yeah,
he
bro.
ain't getting no run now either.
That's why that Houston pick, like you said, Elliot, makes more and more sense to me now. Because, well, no, it doesn't. What am I talking about? They're going for Sauce, right?
They're going for
what did Rank have? What did Rank have?
Yeah, Garrett Wilson. They're number 1 wide receiver out of Ohio State.
No. Houston's 3rd overall, right?
Third. They were going.
So
for
they're trying to go for Sauce,
right? A defensive.
Yeah, cornerback. Yes, Sauce Gardner.
I mean, maybe get that offense going. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, who do they?
Brandon Cooks is good, man.
Yeah, but he's also got him taking Garrett Wilson at number 13, which is the wide receiver out of Ohio State.
Is that 13? Okay, they got 2 first rounds.
And
okay,
just remember that Davis Mills was pretty impressive coming.
He was. People were saying he was better than Mac Jones. Anybody's better than Mac Jones, in my opinion, but I'm a little biased. I mean, I'm better than Mac Jones.
Oh wow!
Or the Cowboys Texans game last year. Davis Mills played most of the game. And he was pretty impressive, moving the ball up and down the field. So, yeah.
he played Buffalo, and we kind of made him look.
Yeah, but see, the thing of it is, guys, Lovie Smith is your head coach, so we know it's going to be tough.
Yeah, that's out the window.
Houston has 11 picks in this draft, by the way.
Speaking of quarterbacks, did you catch any of the USFL game today?
No, I caught a little bit of it. I wasn't impressed. I mean, I was like, God, this is god awful football.
Get this. There was a Paxton Lynch sighting today.
Wow, dude.
Paxton Lynch is the quarterback of Michigan.
Yes.
So this is a different league than what Terrell Owens was playing in last night, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the fan control league, whatever the hell.
Correct. Yeah, and he's playing receiver at 48 years old. Yes.
Yeah, and he's catching passes from Johnny Manziel, right, or somebody like that.
Dude, I'm so lost with all these different leagues, man.
And then yesterday, coming back.
Yesterday, Crystal came in the room and said, "Aren't you watching the USFL?" I said, "Who?"
Yeah.
This is what kills me. Like, and you know me, I'm not a CFL fan. I'm not. It's like the bottom of the totem pole for my priorities in life. But it's a decent league, man. It's a decent league. It's fun. If you're there and you like throwing and passing, it's fun. There's no running game. Don't expect a running game at all.
Well, because you only got 3 downs to 4.
You got 3 downs, and if your running back doesn't get 6 or 7, guess what? And it, and the cool thing, like the wideouts can get a running start, which is cool. So they're in full flight going down the sidelines. It's not bad. So what I don't understand is the CFL has been lollygagging for years on this. They have a really good product. Why don't you rebrand it instead of calling it the CFL? So Americans are just like Canadian football. Screw that. Why don't you rebrand that? And make that league a rebrand and have a really, really solid second option to the NFL. I think the branding hurts it, and it's a Canadian identity. You know what? If I was an owner of a CFL franchise and you're telling me I can get $20 billion compared to $1 million, I'll take the $20 billion if you get rid of the C in the FL.
Right.
That's my opinion. Why not? I mean, it's part of Canadian heritage. That's the only reason. That's the only reason people would, it's part of the Canadian heritage. I don't know.
Okay, let me ask you something. Let's play devil's advocate for a second and say that they do rebrand it, but they change some of the rules. They go to a 4th down. Right. They shrink the field a little bit.
The end
zones have to get shrunk. Yeah.
Okay, are they going? If they were to do that, would Canadians welcome it as much as they do as the product is today?
It would be a tough sell, but if you're trying to sell to a new generation, because the new generation will look at and you could set it almost like a farm system. Like these guys that get cut, the practice squads, you could have a farm team, you could watch the future of the NFL. That's what I always thought the CFL would do.
I would say you should partner up with the NFL is basically saying.
What the CFL looks like is like, how you can create your own players in video games and stuff like that? It looks like a league that's created in order to be different than the NFL. But if you look at the NFL, they have popularity all over the world. Okay. And they keep it simple. 100-yard field, 50-yard line, not a 55-yard line.
Right. Yeah.
Not 25-yard end zones.
Oh, I think that it's more like a 70-yard end zone in the CFL.
Okay. And
I gotta step aside a second, guys. I'll be right back.
When you take away the basics of something and you try to make it something different, it's kind of like that's how the XFL failed in the beginning. Remember when they were their kickoffs were who runs to the 50-yard line fastest and gets the ball and when you try to get gimmicky with something like professional football, it's not going to succeed. I mean,
okay. So what's the major difference between college and NFL? Is it like the 2 feet in, like the call catch? Is that basically it, or is there is there fundamental differences, or is it pretty much the same?
Well, the fundamental, obviously,
the 2 feet in.
Look, the obvious fundamental reason. I mean, things are that the athletes aren't all elite athletes. When you get into the NFL, you got the best of the best.
Right.
When you're in college, there ain't an offensive line or defensive line that has stars all the way across.
Right. Aaron Donald is no longer in
Well, I'm just
college
saying,
ranks.
You can't have the talent level all across the board as you do in the NFL and college. That's why sometimes when you get these quarterbacks that do great in college but fail in the pros, it's because they're taking advantage of the fact that they're playing against other guys that don't have anywhere near the ability that NFL players have. And so when they get to the NFL, they can't keep up with the speed and the agility and the strength of the game. And it stands true for anybody. You can run through come on. If you're playing a North Dakota State, in the NFL, there's not going to be any teams like North Dakota State that you can beat up on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't. Again, this is why a lot of these Heisman Trophy. Have you ever noticed that a lot of Heisman Trophy winners don't make it in the NFL?
Yeah, because the competition they have in college is a lot. Is so.
It's vanilla.
It's vanilla. Going up to the CFL to play.
So you get this person hyped up that they're that good, and then you put them in front of an NFL team, which you're talking about world-class athletes with mind-boggling speed, power, strength, conditioning. Colleges don't have these facilities that they can build up their players like that.
Right.
Do you remember a Heisman Trophy winner from Nebraska named Johnny Rogers?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's shit in the NFL.
Do you remember what's the first pro football team he played for?
Was it the Bears?
No, doesn't come to mind.
Montreal Alouettes.
Really?
Montreal Alouettes.
Alouette.
So he did not get drafted in the NFL after winning the Heisman?
I'm sorry?
He didn't get drafted by an NFL team after winning the Heisman?
He did, but he went to the CFL first. He played, I think he played, I'm going to say, 4 or 5 years in Montreal.
You know why, right?
His size.
Because in his own mind, he knew he didn't have NFL talent.
No.
He needed to go somewhere where his talent might get by.
That's
him by.
Real possibility. I think he played, I want to say, 4 or 5 years in Montreal and then came.
Which I'll applaud him because then that makes him a realist.
Yeah.
You know, just because you win how many players have won a Heisman Trophy coming out of college as being the top athlete in the game and just fizzled out?
There's a select few that are exceptions to that rule. Barry Sanders comes to mind. Barry Sanders.
Well, yeah, there's always going to be a select few.
Right.
Okay. But how many players out there can live up to especially, again, it's kind of like college basketball. How many college basketball players get to the NBA and fizzle out? Why? Yeah. Because unless you're Larry Bird, the fastest slow white boy ever to play the game, okay, most of these guys just can't cut it. I mean, how well did Christian Laettner do in the NBA? But he was a stud in college.
He was a journeyman in the NBA. He never
That's
really.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he never really blew
Danny
up.
Ferry, he was like God.
Yeah.
When he played for Duke.
Yeah.
Adam Morrison.
Adam Morrison, perfect example.
What
was he, a number 7 pick in the draft?
Charlotte Bobcats.
Like that,
yeah. So again, you look at these players. Here's the epitome of one. Sam Bowie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, number 2 pick ahead of Michael Jordan. Ahead of Michael Jordan. Which to this day, Portland is still.
Well, that's the Greg Oden too, right? He was picked before Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
and that's an Ohio State guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, Greg Oden was. Yeah, he looked. He was 21. Looked like he was 41.
Bro,
he looked like LeBron's grandfather.
Look, you're talking about Sam Bowie. You're talking about Greg Oden. There's one in the NBA already right now who's going to be the same way. That's Zion Williamson.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I hope not, because damn,
he's better than he is now.
He is, but you know what? He has no discipline. He has no
discipline, and he's always hurt.
Yeah. And that's why, because he has no discipline. You
look at the Duke curse, man. I'm telling you, Duke.
It is.
Look at the history of Duke basketball players other than Grant Hill.
Exactly.
Like, they just, whatever it is, Coach K's way of doing things just doesn't translate into the NBA. Now, there's exceptions to the rule. Yes, Grant Hill, and even Grant Hill was hurt, so much. But generally, the Duke guys don't translate into NBA guys.
On the other side, North Carolina was just the opposite. They have a ton of guys.
North Carolina is the complete opposite.
Yeah. Right. There are some colleges. Kansas is another college that has put elite players in the NBA. Yeah. It happens that way.
But they go there.
But
anyway, Duke's players in general fizzle out in the NBA and then become college head coaches. That's what they do. Bobby Hurley comes to mind. So
and this is why also, if you look at it, this is why coaches in amateur sports, which that's what I consider college to be, okay, don't always make it in the pro leagues.
Right.
Rick Pitino.
Well, look at Nick Saban.
Yeah.
He couldn't do shit in the NFL, but yet he's coaches one of the best.
Barry Switzer. I don't count Barry Switzer's Super Bowl as being successful.
No, that was Jimmy. That was Jimmy Johnson.
Barry had a little.
That was like Gruden inheriting Tony Dungy's Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
If you ever seen the Troy Aikman Football Life on NFL Network, he goes a long way in criticizing Barry Switzer and his coaching style, because it was very much lack of discipline, not in favoritism.
Well, dude got busted with a gun at the airport.
Well, yeah, I know that, but Barry Switzer was very, very lenient on his star players, on them players in general.
Yes,
and there was a lot of off the field stuff, including the Michael Irvin stuff, that occurred on Barry Switzer's watch. That he didn't care about. He just didn't care.
And Jimmy Johnson was the total polar opposite.
Correct.
And the reason Jimmy Johnson wasn't there is because he was getting all the shine, and Jerry Jones didn't like that.
Yeah, correct.
I don't know how deep he got into this, but Barry Switzer recruited Troy Aikman to Oklahoma when he was a starting quarterback, but Aikman wanted to throw the ball, and Barry Switzer said, "No, we're going to run the ball."
And Aikman left.
That's how Troy Aikman broke his leg against Miami.
Well, none of that, but also Troy Aikman lobbied to bring Barry Switzer into the Cowboys. He lobbied to Jerry Jones. He said, "Let's bring in Barry Switzer," because he actually liked his coaching style at Oklahoma, but it didn't translate in Dallas.
It didn't translate. No.
Again, there's a big difference between what happens in a pro league and what happens in amateur league.
You cannot have a coach come directly from the NCAA right directly into a head coach and NFL team. It doesn't work. The one exception was Jimmy Johnson. Okay.
But that's because Jimmy Johnson was consistent with the way he coached.
Correct.
And if you didn't play
all the way back to his days at Oklahoma State, he was the same way in Miami.
If you didn't buy into Jimmy Johnson's philosophy, you weren't playing.
Correct.
Bottom line, he didn't give a shit how much money you made.
That's right.
It's that's the problem with these coaches nowadays, is that they go from the amateur league, and they can't go from an amateur league where nobody's getting paid, like John always points out. You know what I'm saying? And expect to coach a bunch of guys that
millionaires,
are adults, getting paid much more millions of dollars than the damn coach.
Yeah. Go do this.
They don't want to hear that rah bullshit.
Yeah. In my opinion, you have to earn your stripes through the ranks of the NFL.
Look at the NFL.
As an assistant or a coordinator before you become a head coach. You've got to do it that way. Because otherwise, you won't know how to handle these guys once you get that head coach position. That's the way you got to do it.
That's 53 egos, man.
Correct.
So Mike Tomlin was Bill Cowher's assistant coach, wasn't he? Defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And you see why the Steelers always have consistency at the coaching position?
Well, that's the Rooneys too, by the way.
That's the Rooneys.
You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah.
Yeah, we've had four head coaches in the last 50-something years.
What was the mind-boggling stat I heard today? The Washington Commanders, 26 quarterbacks since Dan Snyder bought the team in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
It's about as many as the Browns have had since that time, too.
Well, 1999, that's 23 years ago.
Yeah.
So
26 quarterbacks in
23 years.
And did you guys see the story about the Washington Commanders and the money?
Oh, yeah.
The financial issues going on over there.
Dan Snyder's a thief, dude.
Yes.
Dan Snyder will have the team taken away from him, I predict.
Yeah, right.
It's okay to be sexually harassing your women, but once you take money away
once
from
you mess with other owners' money,
you mess with my money, then you're gone. Yes.
Right. Go ahead and do whatever you want sexually with her. It doesn't matter, but
don't mess
take
with
a dollar from these people.
Oh.
They will lose their minds.
And the Miami owner needs to watch his ass too, because if these reports come out that
they're coming out now.
They will.
If
they're
that
coming
comes
out,
out, he's done too. You're gonna see Miami and Washington on the selling block.
I can't wait to see Miami implode even more. It's gonna be great. Yeah. So what else we got?
Dan Snyder Dan Snyder is probably, I would
Miami
say
hasn't had a good
worst owner in the NFL. I would
look,
say
they haven't had a good owner since Wayne Huizenga.
Right. Huizenga was fine. I liked Huizenga.
Yeah. And unfortunately for Dallas, their owner wants to do too much, which is why his team doesn't succeed anymore. He won those 3 Super Bowls. He won those 3 Super Bowls, and it went to his head that he was the man, which is why he got rid of Jimmy Johnson, and he brought in people that he can control. He couldn't control Jimmy Johnson. How many Super Bowls do you think the Cowboys would have won if they kept Jimmy Johnson on board?
A whole lot more than we've had.
Exactly. They would at least won a few
the
playoff
greatest
games.
dynasty in NFL history.
Mm-hmm.
But he decimated it because his
ego would not let anyone.
Well, and Ken will never argue about Jimmy Johnson. I mean, Jerry Jones. He doesn't like Jerry Jones as the owner. I know he doesn't. He really never has.
I didn't like him coming in because, and I'll be honest with you, I used to root for the Cowboys way
when it was Tom Landry
Landry. Yeah. Okay. But once Jerry Jones did what he did to Tom Landry, I was done.
Which was part of the deal for him buying the team.
I went totally 180 on anything Dallas, dude.
Can remind me who was the GM of that team when Jerry
wasn't it Schramm?
Tex Schramm.
Yes, Schramm. Yeah.
He was also one of the most underrated GMs in the history of the NFL.
Yeah,
he's an innovator.
Yes. I mean, granted, Landry's system aged out because people started understanding it and adjusted to his system and towards the end of the 80s. But Tex Schramm and Tom Landry were the best 1-2 punch GM head coach combo in the NFL in the 70s and 80s.
I'm not saying that his time didn't age out.
Right.
Okay. What I'm saying is that the disrespect.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm with you on that 100%, Elliot.
The total atrocity of what they did to a legend.
Yes.
Because you know what? It was Landry that put the Cowboys on the map.
Yes, he was.
And the way he was unceremoniously shoved out the door, it's garbage.
John, these kids need to stop growing up, man. They need to stop growing.
You know how they say you reap what you sow?
Right.
Right now, that's what's happening with the Dallas Cowboys.
That's right. That's very true.
They're reaping what they sowed back in the day. Sure, they had instant gratification. And again, most of it was because of Jimmy Johnson.
I'll be the first to admit we got spoiled in the 90s. We got spoiled because of the success, and now it's not there anymore, and we're paying for it.
Yeah, I had to deal with your success a couple times. So
yeah,
it's just,
it wasn't even close.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but now that you have.
Sorry, the kid, he's got a flu and he's all miserable, so I had to make sure.
The boys need to stop growing, John. Holy cow, he's getting big.
Yeah, he's going to be 5 this year. The other one's turning 3 in 3 weeks.
Jimmy, for Christmas.
Yeah, man.
Well, Scott, when we met, Mariano was 11. He's already going on 19.
Yeah, my son just turned 28. So we started. It was when we started.
Maddie's going to be 21 this year.
Yeah. I mean, Alex,
he's got more facial hair than I do.
Yeah, Alex just turned 28. So so I'm with you there, guys.
My wife wants more kids too. Let's go. Let's get it done.
Time flies.
Yeah,
that's why I had a great time with my son today up at the paintball. Up at the paintball.
Did you actually partake in the paintball, or were you just a bystander?
I couldn't because of my tailbone injury.
Okay.
I mean, if it wasn't for that, I probably would have jumped in and played. I
made myself cool. Airsoft is cooler.
I appointed myself the paintball ammunition distribution guy. And let me tell you why. Because when they give you the paint, okay, when they supply the paint for you at the facility, it comes in boxes. There's 4 bags with 500 paintballs in each bag, right? And then each gun has its chamber that holds the balls, right? And I'm watching these people trying to fill these straight out of the bag.
Yeah.
And there's fucking paintballs falling all over the ground everywhere. Yeah. I'm like, whoa, stop. I took a couple of the boxes, emptied the filled bags out of the boxes, and I started pouring the balls into the box and pouring them into the containers, okay, from the corners.
Yeah.
And I would have them hold their gun over an empty box, so if any of them fell out, they fell into the box.
Mm-hmm.
You need one of these for the paintball, man. Right?
It was amazing to watch these people just dropping hundreds of balls all over the ground.
What are the paintballs made of? The outer surface.
I don't know. It's like a pliable plastic.
Yeah,
okay.
It has fucking egg yolk in the middle.
It freaking hurts. That hurts. Airsoft hurts too, but
dude, I saw a couple people get hit and they had welts.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I told Mariano to research.
That's why they wear goggles.
Well, they wear a mask.
Take your eyes out.
They have headgear. Okay, that helps, sort of. Because Mariano still got hit in the ear on one of them, just below the ear on the neck.
Ooh.
But these things, I mean, they blow up. I mean, it splats, and then they're fucking oily. I had a running joke going, you know what, guys? What I really can't stand is a bunch of oily balls, you know.
Right.
Oily, dude. I mean, I was looking at people with their clothes, and I told Mariano, look, research what the best gear is to wear when you're playing paintball. There was guys out there with short sleeve shirts getting welts all over their arms. There was one girl that got hit in the knee, just above the knee. She was wearing sweats, and I'm like, that's not the best way to prevent a So she went in and put some jeans on under the sweats. And that wasn't a problem for her no more.
Probably need knee pads.
That would help mostly for when you're trying to slide around on the ground and duck and crouch and all that kind of stuff.
The knee too, because
you need a suit of armor if you don't want any of the balls to hit you.
You're risking an ACL injury if you get hit right exactly.
Well, yeah, I mean, I couldn't understand how somebody got shot in the ass, but hey. You get a straight
because they're running away. That's why
you get a straight oily ball. You know what I'm saying? No, because there's times where like somebody will get hit. They'll call it. They call it a dead man. Okay, the person's walking off the field and they're catching crossfire from other people. So you get hit once, you're eliminated, and then you get hit like 4 times on your way out the
trying to get out
off the field. But all in all, it was actually fun. It was fun to watch. if the next time when they play, I think I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna try to join in.
Dude, do airsoft if you want to go another.
What is
level.
airsoft, John?
Yeah, what is airsoft?
It's another. It's combat sports, but it's the guns look legit, like complete. They're basically like it's like a battery that shoots out these little plastic BBs, but they're like the guns have got the weight, like they're. Didn't you ever remember, Scott? I used to throw up my airsoft guns. I had the G36C and an MP5 with a silencer on it. Like I spent hundreds of dollars, but they're like legit guns that look real. They just got a little orange paint job on the nozzle, so cops know it's not a real gun. But the guys that do this sport, I got a bunch of buddies that are into it. They're hardcore. They're like ex-military guys sometimes, and they all do like detailed mission plans when they're fighting against each other, and it's all tactical. So but what's really cool, like you can't, when it's a paintball splat, you can't hide it, like you got hit, right? Like I'm hit, but airsoft, unless you'll know when you get hit, trust me, it hurts. Like it's a little tiny BB and it hits you, but it's usually on an honor system, so shot. And and that's what's really cool about it. It's honor system. So, but dude, they're everywhere in the States. I guarantee you got airsoft clubs next to you going on right now, and it's just it's really real. Especially if you're into like Call of Duty and SOCOM and games like that. Like those type of players are really into airsoft, and they get all decked out with the army gear and the helmets, and dude, they go to war, bro.
I've seen something similar to that, except instead of airsoft pellets and everything, you're using like Nerf balls, and I mean that's about as safe as you can get, but it's still the same premise. You get hit,
Dude, when my ex company, we started building businesses, I went down to New England and started hanging out with them all the time, and that was one of the first company excursions we had as a company. We went and played airsoft, and I got hit by Tim. Scott knows who Tim is. He shot me across like probably 100 yards away, and it hit my hand, and I wasn't wearing any protective anything.
Ooh.
Dude, my hand was like just like cut, like just ripped. And it wasn't like next to me, like he was far, and it's a bitch, man. Nothing like paintball though. Paintball hurts, man. Like that stuff hurts, but airsoft is fun, man. It's really fun. So, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna have to look into that because, and we had to go up to Tampa because my son works for Culver's, and apparently the restaurant, there's a couple restaurants up there in the Tampa area that do this every Easter, and they invited the guys from the Bradenton store that my son works at, and so he signed up. I think there was like about 40 people involved, total. So, I mean, it was fun. But like I told my son, I said, maybe you want to check on playing at the facility here in Bradenton so we don't have to drive so damn far. So are we going to discuss anything about playoff action, NBA?
Well, I got a question. Scott, do you have any way of telling how many people are watching right now?
Zero.
It says
I have
zero.
not seen a single message come up yet.
Huh?
Zero.
I have not seen a single message come on.
No, there's nobody watching. Ken. There's nobody.
No, it's me. It's me. I said, let's go. And I said, John is talking to himself about an hour ago. So,
there's nobody watching. Ken.
I did see the end of the Brooklyn-Boston game.
Oh, did you see that?
Jason Tatum.
Yes.
Jason
Tatum.
Bro,
that was a sick. That was a sick spin.
Beautiful.
Then
Monroe on that.
Yep.
Love it. I love seeing Brooklyn lose. I'm pretty sure Philly is not going to lose, but just to see one of those scumbag franchises fail is good enough for me. So, yeah.
Yeah, congratulations to Boston. I'm not a big Boston Celtics fan.
Neither am I, but I'd rather pick Boston than Brooklyn.
I can never stand the Boston Celtics, especially during the Larry Bird era.
Yeah.
I hated them. I swear to God, I used to root for the Lakers, and I hated them too.
Okay. Magic Johnson led Lakers.
You'd rather see Boston win than Brooklyn, right?
Look,
yes.
To me, Brooklyn is a farce.
Yeah.
The biggest problem ever was Jay-Z bringing them fuckers out of New Jersey. And to top it all off, Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
He put the cherry on the top of the sundae as far on the shit sundae. Okay. Because when he made his move, when he couldn't beat the Golden State Warriors, and he decided he was going to abandon Oklahoma City and go and play with Steph and all them guys.
Man.
I'm sorry, man, but at that point, all this talk about Kevin Durant being the man, yeah, he's a bitch. Okay. And when he went to Brooklyn and tried to bring this guy and that guy.
Yeah, the Harden experiment failed miserably.
Well, I think everything, you know what? I think everything he tried to do failed. Golden State didn't really need him, but hey, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? That's why they got
Kevin Durant thinks he's LeBron and has the LeBron mentality of building these super teams.
But in the end, his mom is the real MVP.
His mom is the real MVP for sure. Yeah, dude, I've never been a Durant fan at all, and I hate Brooklyn like with a passion. That team is just like you said. They should have stayed in New Jersey in the toxic waste dump that it was, and just leave.
They should have. They should have stayed at the Continental Airlines Arena.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? In the swamp, man. Let them be there.
You know, back-to-back NBA championship losses to the Los Angeles Lakers. They should have, Jason Kidd was the man those days.
Their last year in New Jersey was in Newark, wasn't it?
It was actually
Rutherford, East Rutherford.
It was East Rutherford.
They moved to Newark for 1 or 2 years.
It was right across the street from Giant Stadium.
Right. Yeah, it's a complex they got there.
Yeah.
It stinks. It's awful. It smells.
It was terrible. It was on Swampland, I believe.
Yeah, the New Jersey football team.
That's the Meadowlands is. That's Swampland. The whole Meadowlands is Swampland.
Mm-hmm. It's the whole complex.
Well, they call New Jersey the
toxic waste dump of New York.
Yes.
It's the toxic waste dump of New York City. Let's be honest. Sorry, all you amazing New Jersey. I have a lot of friends in Jersey, and I love you guys, but New York is the shining example of.
You have an amazing highway system and little else.
They're the colostomy bag of New York.
I'm sorry,
dude. For the record, you're a New Yorker, so you're allowed to say that stuff. Like,
let me just say that was a phenomenal analogy, Elliot. Thank you very much for that.
You're gonna have Tony Soprano knocking on your door now.
Right.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah.
James Gandolfini is going to come back from the dead and haunt you.
New Jersey.
But anyway, right now the NBA series stand Miami up on Atlanta 1-0 after Atlanta took it to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Shut up.
Miami beat them today 115 to 91. Wasn't even close.
Miami 115, 115-91. Now, right now in the fourth quarter, Milwaukee's leading Chicago 82-78.
Milwaukee was up big time. Milwaukee was up as much as 16 on Chicago today, but Chicago fought back. Actually took the lead.
Chicago. You know what? DeMar DeRozan has been balling for Chicago this year.
Yeah, right now they're down by 4, but still, I mean,
he's put up a few 50 burgers. I think he put them up back to back at one point.
Yeah, I mean,
DeMar.
Chicago's made this a game because they were down by 16 at one point in time.
Yeah, and you know what? Right now, again, and I think we discussed this last week. Milwaukee's the odds-on favorite only because they're the defending champs.
Yeah.
And everyone loves Giannis.
Yes.
And everybody
doesn't love Giannis. Come on.
Exactly. How you not love that guy, man? He's great.
He's awesome.
He's he should be the face of that league, man.
You know who's looking pretty intense right now? The Minnesota Timberwolves.
How they
man.
They beat Memphis today.
Beat Memphis. Yep.
They beat Memphis yesterday.
Oh, yesterday. Excuse me.
And it wasn't even close. They scored 130 points, which, by the way, Minnesota is the top scoring team in the NBA.
That's right.
It's the Pat Beverly revenge tour.
Oh,
right?
man. Beverly, oh, my God. Tour. I think every arena he goes to now, every time he touches the ball, they just light him.
Pat Bev.
People hate him, man. Yeah.
He is a major a-hole, but, hey, you do what you got to do to make it, right?
Mm.
Phoenix and New Orleans, is that going to be any kind of a series?
Nope.
Phoenix is the best team in the West, in my opinion. I don't think.
Well, they finished with the best record in the NBA, so
yeah.
There's a real possibility we're going to have a rematch of last year's NBA Finals.
Yeah, it could be Milwaukee and Phoenix. Yeah. I mean, come on, Chris Paul and Devin Booker. You got Ayton at center. They're legit.
Oh yeah, man.
And it wasn't even close between first and second in the West.
No.
Remember when the West was always the dominant conference, and now it's the East. Yeah.
Remember when the NFC used to be dominant? Now it's
now it's the AFC. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's a shift in paradigm. A paradigm shift.
Remember when the Patriots were to be feared?
And then Brady left.
Bro, he sent out a really cryptic.
The tweet that he sent out this week was fantastic. The rumor about Elon Musk.
Oh yeah. Get rid of that.
Brady posted out, "Hey Elon, if you buy Twitter, can you please
get rid of this photo?
This
the combine photo,
combine picture from the internet, please. Thank you."
No, Tom Brady did a really weird tweet today. He did two googly eyes, and then put Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and another quarterback, and that's it. It was really weird. Really weird.
In his old age. All right, Toronto's looking to bounce back in Game 2 against Philly.
Nah, we're done.
And Scotty Barnes, I guess, injured his ankle.
Doubtful. He sprained his ankle, so they say it's a high ankle, but
yeah, I think that kind of puts Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto. If we'll get one game at home, probably it'll be 5, Philly and 5. But you never know. I mean, listen, we're in Philly's head. If we split in Philly and come back to Toronto, that we're in Philly's head. The memes of Joel Embiid crying after losing to the Toronto Raptors a couple of years ago will flood the internet. Will flood the internet again.
After the 12 bounce basket by
12 Kawhi bounce basket. Yes. The highlight, dude, you want to see how freaking high a fat man could jump. You should have saw me. Dude, I am not joking. I jumped 20 feet. My vertical was Jordan-esque.
Hey, he jumped along with the ball on the rim.
Oh, dude, it was my emotion. I was more on another level there than even when they won the championship in Golden
State. At that
State.
point, you had to look at them as a team of destiny.
Oh, dude, it was the rent Kawhi for a year, win the championship.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked. We got rid of DeMar DeRozan, who was basically Mr. Toronto.
Assassin.
And
a hired assassin is what you
he was a hired assassin, and the sacrificial lamb was DeMar DeRozan. So it sucks, man, because I look at DeMar. DeMar's amazing.
He's been amazing in Chicago, yeah.
And then Kawhi left a year later, so
and look what Kawhi's done. I mean, we went 7 with the Celtics that next year in the bubble, and we weren't playing it was just, majority of the guys were bad.
I don't even count that bubble shit.
But I mean, if we had Kawhi on that team, that's what I'm saying. We could have probably repeated because the Lakers were suspect to win that. So, we would have beat the Celtics and everyone else. So I think we would have repeated. But Kawhi.
Well, you guys beat Golden State when it mattered.
Yeah, and that's because Clay went out. Let's be honest. If Klay Thompson's in that series again, and I know I'm a Raptors fan, but I can admit it. Klay Thompson is in that series, completely different.
That's totally different. Yep.
Even Durant was out at most of that series too, right?
Yep.
So totally different.
Well, Durant was he still with the team during that?
Yeah, he was. Yeah. And I think he played one game and then twisted his ankle or something like that, and then that was it. Like he didn't play again or something.
I thought he was already in.
It was Steph and Draymond. That was basically it. And
Draymond was suspended for that last game.
Yeah.
When Doncic returns, does Utah continue?
Yes.
To win?
Luka is probably out for game 2 also.
Oh, well, then they're done.
So we're done. Yeah, we're not going to do anything with Utah.
Yeah, if you go down 0-2 going back to Utah, you're pretty much done.
We're done. We're toast.
Is Mitchell hurt?
He played the other night, I think.
He scored 30 the other night.
He may have gotten a little banged up toward the end, but he started the game, I think.
He put up like 38 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like him. I think Gobert's gone at the end. I think Gobert's gone.
Played like crazy.
I like Mitchell.
And Denver, I don't think they stand with just Joe. What's his name? Jokic.
Jokic, yeah.
I don't think he's the only guy on that team.
Well, right now the Warriors are playing on all cylinders. So I mean, they got all their guys. They're healthy and they're just They're in 2017-18 mode at this point right now. So we'll see what happens.
Phoenix 2019 mode.
Yeah. Would Phoenix and Golden State be the Western Conference Finals?
I think that's
Phoenix and Golden State.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's shaping up to be, honestly. Because Phoenix, Golden State, I almost see that as Memphis. I mean, come on, they just lost home court advantage to Minnesota.
Yep.
They're the number 2 ranked. And quite honestly, they have a better record without Ja Morant on the floor.
They went on a big run today when Ja Morant was out of the game. Well, yesterday when Ja was out of the game. So,
yeah, and they went like what 21-3 without him in the lineup.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
A better record than with him in the lineup.
Yeah,
go figure.
Those things, I mean, they sound crazy, but it matters. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick, guys, on baseball. I know we know it's early in the season. Katie pointed me to a chart today on the Oakland and Toronto game, and the home plate umpire Jeff Nelson and his accuracy as far as balls and strikes are concerned.
Oh, yeah. That was from yesterday, wasn't it? Yesterday's game.
Yeah, umpire scorecard is the Twitter account, and Katie posted to me today about it. He was 68% on his called strike accuracy.
Like, just get robot umps and call it a day, man.
Yeah, I mean, he was calling strikes outside the box. I mean, way outside.
Didn't the Yankees have an issue with an umpire on Friday night when they lost 2-1?
So, yeah.
And I mean, Aaron Boone
even tried to frame it.
Chased him down the
time. It was still way outside, and he still called it a strike. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, well, our Montoya got kicked out of the game yesterday for challenging it. He was fed up, and this is the funny thing. Like, Montoya never loses his cool. If you follow the Jays as the manager, he never loses his cool. So the fact that he blew up on the ump tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Like John said, robotic home plate umpires.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it seems like they've already solved the sign stealing issue.
Yeah. With the technology, yes.
With the digital technology.
The is coming, folks. The camera zeroing in on the strike zone is coming.
Because it's ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, Laz, whatever his freaking name is one of the worst freaking umpires behind the plate.
Joe F. finally retired, but we still got what's his name? Hernandez.
McClellan was awful. Last
you know what, guys? And I also think that these umpires think that their celebrity is bigger than what it is.
Yeah.
Bro, they got a chip on their shoulder ever since replay was implemented.
Correct.
Bro, that's what happened. Is that now they are revolting? You know what I'm saying, so to speak.
And they make up their own strike zone. The umpires at the home plate making up their own strike zone, saying this is what I'm going to call. If you don't like it, tough shit, deal with it. But you know what? The strike zone is what it is. It's mandated by Major League Baseball. If you cannot call correctly balls and strikes, or if your eyes are too damn old to actually see where the ball is coming in, then you need to let technology take over. Because I'll tell you what, a lot of these umpires are older than some of the managers in Major League Baseball, to be honest with you. Okay.
Yeah.
They're older than you and I, Elliot.
You swear they were in Congress or something.
Correct. They've got egos that they're trying to shield. They've got agendas, and they're setting their own strike zone. And I think it's just wrong. Let the technology take over. Implement robotic home plate umpires. I'm not saying taking out the field umpires, just the guy behind home plate. That's what I'm saying.
Well, not entirely, but set it up in a way where a robot calls balls and strikes, because plays at the plate, you're going to need a human being to call those.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
That's where either the first or third baseman can come home and call the play.
Something, because this is bullshit.
Yeah,
you know
I agree.
And they don't position themselves properly, I don't think, anymore, as far as where they're at to be able to see the angles. And that's always been a problem.
Right. That's always been a camera in center field that's going to focus exactly on the strike zone, and plus it can also, zoom in to see if a play is a close play.
And there could be a guy behind home plate receiving the results of the pitch.
Yeah.
Saying, okay, it's a ball or a strike. Yes.
Right.
Also want to mention hats off to the Major League Baseball as usual on their annual celebration on Jackie Robinson. They did a fantastic job on that as well. And hats off to Major League Baseball in honoring Jackie Robinson the way they always have.
And you know why? And you know why they don't give a damn about whether you like it or not, how they call balls and strikes? It's not reviewable, and they don't get punished for it.
Correct.
Plain and simple.
You got, Ken? You want to say something?
Yeah. Excuse me. The only problem I have with Jackie Robinson Day is everyone wearing 42. Now,
really?
I mean it's a little bit confusing, because obviously you can know the players by facial recognition. Yeah, that's fine. But why can't we just have a patch on the sleeve that says 42 on it, and just have their regular numbers?
There's actually a history behind that, Ken. Dating back when Jackie first came on, one of the players in their locker room of the Dodgers says, "Okay, if we're so worried," because he was getting death threats, I think his first or second game, and one of the players in the locker room was speaking, and he said, "Well, why don't we all just wear 42 so they can't recognize which one of us is?" Well, of course, that's not going to work because of the skin tone.
Yeah.
But that's where that comes from. That speech, and I forget the name of the player. Look it up. It was on ESPN or something this week.
Probably Pee Wee Reeves.
But it dates back to that locker room speech as to why they are all wearing 42 on Jackie Robinson Day. So that it's an homage, so to speak. So I don't have a problem with it, because
I don't either. I mean, for a while there was Mariano Rivera Day, but and then he retired. So
yeah, he was the last one to wear 42.
Yep. And Mo Vaughn also was honored in Boston. He was part of the celebration. He was the last Red Sox to wear 42 as well. So
I still think we need to honor Larry Doby also, because
we do. Absolutely. All right, guys. On a day with not much sports, we managed to fill 90 minutes again. Hats off to my co-hosts.
I got one.
You know why? That's because we put a shining light on some pretty glaring situations.
Absolutely. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We spoke.
I got one last thing, Scott.
We spoke truth to power, goddammit.
Right. Go ahead, Ken.
I did catch the Dallas Tampa Bay game the other day on ESPN, the 1-0.
Oh, the hockey game?
Hockey game. That was one of the best hockey games I've seen all season long.
You know what, Ken?
2 weeks, Ron Gallo, baby.
I'm in the same position I am with Major League Baseball. I cannot get in Tampa Bay Lightning games where I live unless I buy the upgraded package with my cable company, which will bump my payments per month
for cable TV alone to $200 a month.
Yep.
This is why I cannot. And you know what? Bally Sports has a monopoly on NBA, NHL, and MLB. And it pisses me off. I can't stand Bally Sports.
Yep. Total agree.
How much do you pay now?
I'm only paying $100 a month.
So it would double?
Yeah.
I'm paying
streaming services.
Because in order to get the Bally Sports channels, I have to get a tons of other channels I don't watch either.
So don't get cable. You can't cord cut?
Well, no, I've got a combination of my Spectrum on the mobile on an app. I'm getting a discount, a government discount, because a COVID discount on my internet, which is why my bill was $100 a month. Otherwise, it'd be $130. But in order to get Bally Sports, I would have to upgrade my cable. Only way I can get it is get cable. Okay, because none of the streaming services out there have it that's cost effective for me. Okay, I have a combination of Spectrum, which is $100 a month, and I also have Sling, which is like $25 or $30 a month, in order for me to get ESPN, because my cable doesn't give me ESPN. It gives me ESPN News, doesn't give me ESPN 1 and 2. All right, so.
And YouTube TV doesn't work that way?
No, YouTube TV doesn't have the Bally Sports. Fubo TV doesn't have Bally Sports.
I know they
Sling doesn't have it. There's maybe one or two out there that have it, and it's god awful expensive, and I'm not going to buy it. So
all the satellite systems have dropped Bally Sports, and I know Dish Network has. I don't know about DirecTV, but
because their demands and their charges are so extravagant,
it's ridiculous.
It is.
Late breaking. Milwaukee hung on for a 7-point victory against the Chicago Bulls.
Yes.
93-86 was the final.
Yeah, Bally Sports has a monopoly on regional sports content. It has.
Sounds like a monopoly. Sounds like a communist move to me.
Right. All right, guys. We had a good show tonight. We're gonna call it a night. Thanks for nobody showing up tonight.
Thanks a lot, nobodies. Seriously.
For those of you watching the replay, thank you for watching. We are the Sports Nerds, and we will be here next week live Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. On behalf of my co-host, Mr. John G. Olson, Ken Koslow, 40 years of sports journalism experience, and of course, my in name only executive producer, Mr. Elliot Big E Lamba. We are the Sports Nerds. I thank you, and you all have a good night. Go ahead, Elliot, hit the outro.
Rugby.
The Sunday episode of the Sports Nerd Show in the books, and we're actually still alive to tell about it. Now, on behalf of our host, Scott, the Sports Nerd, right? John Olson, Ken Koslow, two of our level members in the brand pack, and yes, me, Big E, the entire pack would once again like to thank you all for participating with us in the best 90 minutes of sports smack talk today. So until next Sunday night, dear nation, we want to leave you with a quick PSA. Please stay safe. Please practice social distancing. And for heaven's sake, please wear a blessed mask. You all just got hit with a pack rant from the Rank Pack. Fellas, we